This is the real Relax 2025 full body massage chair. The biggest surprise for me is how quickly it takes the edge off desk tension and lower back stiffness, usually in about 15 minutes, without me wrestling with complicated controls. I put this in the category of full body massage chairs built for everyday recovery at home. It is for people who spend long hours sitting, for anyone who lifts or runs and needs consistent leg and back relief, and for first-time buyers who want real comfort without a steep learning curve. If you are tall or broad, or you just want a chair that feels solid and supportive rather than flimsy, this design makes a strong case. Design matters with something this large because it becomes furniture, not just a gadget. The look is modern and clean, with smooth faux leather that feels durable and does not squeak or wrinkle easily. The black and silver version blends in with a living room more than I expected. It has real weight, right around 100 pounds, which helps it feel planted when the rollers are working. Once it is in place, you will not want to drag it around. The armrests are cushy and sit at a comfortable height, so my shoulders drop instead of creeping up. The leg rest extends farther than most chairs I have tried. My knees and ankles align naturally without bending my toes downward, which is a common problem in shorter footwells. When I sit down, the sides hug my torso just enough to make me feel centered, and that alone takes a little stress off before the massage even starts. The controls are built for actual use, not for showing off. The remote has a big liquid crystal display with clear icons and large buttons. I can glance once and know exactly where I am. I never worry that I will hit the wrong thing and launch a wild program. There is also a phone application that lets me set my preferences and start a session without picking up the remote. I like fiddling with techniques and intensity, so being able to lock in the speed, the pressure, and the duration from the couch before I sit down feels surprisingly convenient. Setup was straightforward but not instant. The main body arrives pre-assembled, and I had to attach the armrests and a couple of covers. The written instructions were a little vague in places. I needed about an hour and some patience. It is heavy, so moving it into the room and the final position took 2 people and a bit of careful nudging to avoid scuffing the floor. Once it was in place, plugging in and powering on took seconds, and the first-time guidance on the screen made sense. I connected the phone application and the built-in speakers in a few minutes without any glitches. Performance is where I noticed the difference compared to many basic chairs. Inside, there is an S-shaped track that follows the curve of the spine, powered by a 2-motor system driving the rollers. The rollers travel from the lower back up through the shoulders and the neck. The path lines up with the spots that bother me after a long day at the desk, especially that stubborn knot between the shoulder blades and the tightness at the base of the neck. I can switch between kneading, tapping, and a Shiatsu-style pattern, or combine them. The chair lets me dial pressure up or down across levels that actually feel distinct. The zero-gravity recline tilts my body until my knees are above my heart. That takes the weight off my lower back and lets the rollers press in more evenly instead of digging into one point. I feel my breathing slow down almost immediately in that position. Airbags wrap around the shoulders, arms, hips, calves, and feet. When they inflate, they squeeze and hold, then release. It sounds simple, but that rhythm wakes up circulation in my legs after a run and keeps my shoulders from tensing while the back rollers do their thing. The heating elements in the lower back and calves warm up in a few minutes. It is a gentle heat, not a hot pad, so I leave it on through an entire session. On cold days, I sometimes use heat only while reading, and it is soothing on its own. Real use will always reveal the quirks. The calf and foot section is strong. On days when my legs are sensitive, the rollers and airbags below the knee can feel like too much. I fix that by placing a towel in the foot well for a bit of padding, and I reduce the intensity in the settings. On other days, especially after a hard workout, I want that extra pressure, and the firm hold is perfect. Mechanical noise is noticeable, not loud but not silent. If your room is very quiet and you want complete silence, you will hear the motors and the air valves cycling. It fades into the background for me, especially with light music from the built-in speakers, but it is there. One more thing to know is that manual pinpoint control is limited. I can adjust speed, pressure, and modes, but I cannot move the rollers millimeter by millimeter to chase one specific, not the way very high-end chairs sometimes allow. Most of the time, the path hits my problem areas well enough, but once in a while I wish I could nudge the rollers to a single exact spot. In day-to-day life, I found a few patterns that stuck. For a midday reset, I choose the Relax program for 15 minutes with low heat and light shoulder compression. That session pulls my shoulders down and gets rid of neck tension without leaving me drowsy. When I am sore from a run or a leg day, I recline into zero gravity, turn on calf and lower back heat, and use the stronger stretch program. The airbags squeeze my calves while the rollers travel slowly up the spine. After that, the tightness in my hamstrings and calves loosens, and my lower back stops nagging. Before bed, I use gentle kneading at low speed with just the lower back heat. It is calm and not distracting, and it helps me unwind without stirring everything up again. I also found myself sitting in the chair without a massage at all, just using the heat and the speakers to listen to a guided meditation or soft music. That was not something I planned on, but the seat is comfortable enough to do it. I had a couple of friends try it. People over 6 feet usually complain about footwells being too short or headrests hitting a weird spot. Here the leg rest extends far enough that taller bodies fit without scrunching the knees. The chair is rated to support up to 440 pounds, and it feels sturdy when shifting around, with no creaks or flex. Arm width is generous, and the airbags do not pinch when they inflate. For broader shoulders, the upper back rollers reach far enough to make contact along the shoulder blades rather than just the spine. Small quality of life features make a difference. The remote's liquid crystal display is bright, with icons that are clear enough to see even in a dim room. Switching between the 6 automatic modes takes one tap and there is no weird delay. The chair remembers my last settings, so I can sit down and start a session with almost no thought. The speakers are not a home theater system, but for music, white noise, or a guided relaxation track, they do the job and help mask the motor sounds. The phone application lets me set up a custom routine and save it. That means when I find a mix of intensity, speed, and heat that hits perfectly on a stressful day, I can bring it back the next time with one command. There are still trade-offs to keep in mind. Moving the chair after assembly is a 2-person job, and the pathway should be measured in advance because door frames and tight corners can make it tricky. The foot rollers are intense, which is great on some days and too much on others. The machine sounds are part of the experience. If you need absolute quiet, that will be noticeable. And while the automatic programs are well-tuned, anyone who wants surgical-level targeting on a single trigger point will wish for more precise manual mapping of the roller position. As a whole, the Real Relax 2025 full-body massage chair gets the fundamentals right. The S-shaped track reaches the areas that hurt in real life. The zero-gravity recline takes pressure off the spine instantly. The heating elements add comfort rather than distraction. The controls are simple enough that I do not think about them once a session begins. It looks like furniture rather than gym equipment. It supports taller and heavier bodies without feeling cramped. Most importantly, I actually use it. It has become a reliable part of my daily routine, not a novelty that gathers dust. If you are new to massage chairs and want a comfortable, dependable option that is easy to live with, this is a strong choice. If you work from home, if you sit for long stretches, if your lower back and neck are your weak spots, and you like the idea of a quick 15 to 20-minute reset that you can repeat every day, this chair makes a real difference. If you know you need pinpoint control for a very specific knot, or if you need complete silence, that is where its limits show. For most people, the balance of comfort, control, and consistency is exactly what you hope a home massage chair will deliver. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments what you want to know about living with a massage chair day to day. Thank you for watching.